Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about library order. But before we get into what we do with the library order, we are going to be reviewing our alphabet because the alphabet plays a very important role in putting books in library order in the library. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to sing along, please, because I think that's the easiest way for everyone to do this. Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Do we all have that? Very good. If you don't, you may review, and we're going to keep on going for now. Library order. Many of you have asked me what those little white labels on the book stand for, on the spines of the book. And those labels are called the call numbers. Not all of them have numbers on them. A lot of them have only letters, but we still call it a call number because that is the tradition. We use that call number as the address of the book. The top line on the call number will tell us what section the book goes in, and then the second line will tell us what the order is for the most part. When we have our everybody books, that's what we're going to be talking about today especially. Our everybody books will have an E on that first line of the call number, and then the letters underneath will stand for the author's last name. And if you remember, our author is the person who writes the book. We're going to look at these four authors' names. And what we use, the part of the name we use, is their last name. So here we have Judy Blume's last name starts with a B. Mercer Mayer's starts with an M. Dr. Seuss starts with an S, and Jane Yolen starts with a Y. And as we can see, they're already in alphabetical order. If we look at our alphabet over here, we have A, B for Blume, then we go all the way down to the M, which is down at the bottom right here, Mercer Mayer. Then we start on our next column, and here we have our S, and then our Y. So these four names are in alphabetical order by the last name of the person. On this shelf, we have 6 books, and if we look at the first letter of the author's last name, which is on the second line of the call number, we'll see that these are already in alphabetical order for us. We don't have an A or B or a C, but we have a D. Then no E's, F's, G's, but we do have an H. Not an I, not a J, not a K, but an L. We don't have an M, N, or an O, but we do have a P. And then we don't have a Q or an R, but we have an S. And then we don't have another one of the letters until we get all the way down to the end for the Z. So we're looking at, as you see, those first letters of the author's last name. Now we're going to practice putting some in order. And so let's go. We have a D, an F, a C, a B, an E, and an A. So if we look at our alphabet, our first letter is A. Let's see if we have an A, and we do. So we put that book on the shelf first. Then let's look to see if we have a B. And if we look along here, yes, we have a B. So that comes second. We do have a C also, the third letter. And then we have a D. And then we do have an E. Then we have an F. This one was a very easy one because we only used the first 6 letters of the alphabet. We have the last name that begins with an A, then a B, and a C, and a D, and an E, and an F. Let's try one that's a little bit harder. There will be some gaps in the letters on this one. We have an F, an M, a B, an S, a K, and a P. So if we look over at our alphabet, we see we don't have one last name that begins with an A, but we do have one that begins with a B, so that will be our first book on the shelf. Then we don't have a C or a D or an E, but we do have an F. So let's put our F as the second book on the shelf. We do not have a G or an H or an I or a J, but we do have a K. So that will be our third book on the shelf. Then we don't have an L, but we do have an M. We don't have an N or an O or a P. Oh, I was about to say we didn't have a P, but we do have a P. We have this book. The author's last name begins with a P. Then we don't have a Q or an R, but we do have our last book is an S. So we have put those books in library order for the Everybody section. We will be going over this and working with this more tomorrow during class. And so if you would like to rewind or review this again, just start the video over again, and I'm looking forward to seeing how many of y'all can do library order tomorrow. Thank you.